Ladies and gentlemen, there are still people in the gaming space, whether it be for monetary gains or because they think they're fighting for some cause to save the video game industry, that have a disease that I like to call Nintendo Switch 2 derangement syndrome.
Oh, how original that name is. Thing being criticized, derangement syndrome? Oh, how'd you come up with that one? Yeah, this video is from someone named Darkstar777. It's called Debunking Nintendo Switch Hate 2.
Marker.
Debunking Nintendo Switch 2 hate grifters, which on one hand, sure, some people are absolutely milking the outrage of the situation. That's just the way the internet is. But when there's so much criticism and so much specific criticism being made of the platform and Nintendo's ecosystem and Nintendo as a company, like when there's so much being made, it's going to be kind of difficult for you to argue that it's all the work of grifters. I'll let you make your points, because maybe you will make some good points. Spoiler alert, he makes precisely 0 good points. But let's just go ahead here. Let's hear you debunk all the Nintendo Switch 2 hate grifters. And I'm sure you're going to do a really good job differentiating the grifters from the legitimate criticism. I mean, judging by this like to dislike ratio, I think you're going to do this very intelligently.
And this syndrome revolves around 3 talking points that are constantly spammed in any comment section saying anything about the Nintendo Switch 2.
Snap, crackle, and pop. Rice Krispies, bitch.
Even if it's just an okay thing, like I made a review on the Nintendo Switch 2, and I said it's a great product and it has flaws. It's not perfect. There's positives and negatives to it.
Okay, so you made a review of the Nintendo Switch 2 where you said there's positives and negatives, but a bunch of people came into your comment section and started making criticisms of your criticisms, or maybe, spamming certain criticisms at you, which seems to imply that you didn't do a great job at explaining the criticisms or giving the bigger picture. And now we're going to be debunking all of the Nintendo Switch 2 hate grifters. You might have just made a bad video.
Like every product, but my comment section for some people...
Your comment section for some people? The comment section is universal, but I don't know why you said that.
Was spammed with the same 3 tiring talking points that these people constantly talk about.
Alvin, Simon, and Theodore. Bitch.
So I'm going to debunk all 3 of them.
Not Simon, no.
In this video. The number 1 complaint I hear is you don't own your games. That's the number 1 fucking comment.
Wait, you think that's a grift? You think it's a grift to point out that you don't own your games? Are you kidding me? The number 1 thing that people are spamming in my comments is that you don't own your game. Yeah, that's a fucking problem, buddy. Are you kidding me? How are you going to spin this? How are you even going to try and spin this?
The game key cards, digital games bad, all this stuff.
Okay, well, right out of the gate, digital game key cards should not be sold for the same price as physical games, actual physical games. I'm just going to say that right out of the gate. Because if you're selling a game cartridge with actual game data on the cartridge and a game cartridge that's just a download code, those inherently should not be the same price, first of all. Second of all, a cartridge with a download code is not actually a physical game, nor is it game ownership, because what happens if that download code doesn't work anymore? What happens if the servers are taken offline? What happens if the game is one thing one day, but then the developers or publishers decide to change the game, update the game? That physical game key card is now something completely different, which defeats the purpose of physical games, because physical games should have the content on the disc and it can't be altered because it's on the disc or cartridge or whatever. Give or take patches, give or take DLC. The base content is there and won't change. That's the whole point. The fact that Nintendo, of all companies, because Nintendo, for all of the shit that I give them, for all the shit everyone gives them, Nintendo is one of the few companies that really put active effort into physical copies and physical preservation, even in the face of an all-digital future. But now they're going against that and trying to act like they're not. That's the problem. One of the last bastions of actual physical game ownership is now spitting in your face if you want to own your games. And they're charging you more than ever for it.
And it's all bullshit.
It's all bullshit. All bullshit, by the way. If you have criticisms of not owning games, you're just a hate grifter and you're made of bullshit. You're made out of bullshit. I'm going to sculpt you out of poo.
Number 1. All of the Nintendo first-party games are fully on the cartridge.
Okay, what about the other ones? How is this a debunking? Are you kidding me? People are like, man, I don't like that the Nintendo Switch 2 has physical games that aren't actual physical games. And you're like, oh yeah, well, not all of them are like that. Okay, that doesn't counter the fact that some of them are, and it doesn't counter the fact that more in the future certainly will be. What is this argument? Oh, congratulations, Nintendo first-party games are all on the cartridge. For now. All this criticism of, like, download codes on a cartridge, it's all bullshit. I mean, not all of the games are like that. How are you a person? What?
I know it's a crazy thing to think about, that Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza, the upcoming Nintendo games, the Zelda re-releases, they're all fully on the cartridge. And not to mention, the fear-mongering around digital games is driving me insane.
Yeah, no, all the fear-mongering around digital games. Ugh. This video is from 2 weeks ago, by the way. Fucking monumental timing here.
People want to act like there's this great precedent of digital games being taken from you.
The president of digital games is being taken? What are we going to do? White House down. The president of digital games is gone. You meant precedent. The precedent of digital games being taken away from you. Which, again, for a video from 2 weeks ago, monumental timing here. Because this was literally uploaded like right before the beginning of the Stop Killing Games initiative. I don't know if you're just Nostradamus over there. I'm sure you're not, because then you would be smarter than this. You would be able to look outside your stupid fucking window. There is an epidemic right now of digital games being taken away from people, digital games being removed from sale. That's the whole purpose of the Stop Killing Games initiative. It's not fear-mongering to point this out. I hate when people do this. Like, there's a thing happening that you personally don't have a problem with, and instead of arguing why you don't personally have a problem with it, you're just denying that the thing exists at all, which is such a weak sauce argument. Like, why'd you even enter the discussion if this is all you're going to contribute?
When that is not the case at all.
Oh, it's not the case at all. Not the case at all, by the way, that digital games are being taken away from you. It's not the case at all. Fuckface, stop fear-mongering, stop being a grifter.
I still have access to every single digital title I've purchased from the start of digital titles being sold on consoles.
Okay, great. You didn't buy any of the games that have been delisted. Like, how is this a point? You didn't personally buy any of the games that have been delisted. How does that argue the point that games have been delisted and the precedent has been set that they can be taken away?
I still have access to my Wii library, digital library. I have access to my Wii U digital library.
Look at that. Look, in this screenshot, too. You fucking moron. You're missing the point. In your screenshot, where you're using this as proof that people are just grifting, this is all bullshit. In this screenshot, it says Nintendo ended purchases in the eShop for Wii U and 3DS on March 27, 2023. So what happens if I want a Wii U game or a 3DS game in 2025? Is it easier or harder for me to get it now? You fucking moron. You put this on screen.
I have access to my Xbox 360 and PS3 digital games that I purchased. I still have access to games I bought on Steam from years ago, like Star Wars Battlefront 2 Classic.
Notice how he's just not talking about games that have been delisted or games that have been taken away from people. Like, notice how we're just not talking about that. If you paid for Concord, it was literally taken away from you. If you paid for The Crew, it was literally taken away from you. But you're not going to talk about those things, because those things prove that you are wrong.
These games are not being taken from you.
Yeah, those games aren't. Other games are. It has begun. Just because literally everything hasn't been taken from you doesn't mean that games have not been taken from you.
If they were going to steal your digital library or games away, they would have done it already.
No, they would not. No, they would not. What? You think they're just going to flip a switch and delete everyone's libraries for no reason? Why would they do that? What is this logic? Yeah, man, Russia never nuked anybody during the Cold War, so I guess that means they were never aggressive towards anyone ever again. Like, what?
How long ago did the Wii come out? Last time I checked, it was almost 20 years ago at this point that the Wii released.
I mean, my Wii released earlier this morning. If you know what I'm saying.
And they have not taken away access to these games, and Nintendo, would be the first ones to do it, and they haven't done it because they're not going to.
You have so much confidence in a company that has openly expressed such disdain for you. Why are you letting them off the hook just because they don't hate you as openly as they possibly could?
They would have done it already. This fear-mongering around the fact that you don't own your digital games, bro. Here's the thing.
Yeah, that's another thing too. It's fear-mongering that you don't own digital games. A couple things. First of all, why don't you want to own your physical games? Or your digital games? Excuse me. Like, why don't you see that as a problem that you don't own the thing you bought? Why don't you see that as an issue? Why shouldn't you own the thing you bought? That's number one. Number two is why don't they want you to own them? That's the bigger thing you need to be asking yourself. Why don't they want you to own your digital games? How do they benefit from not actually giving you ownership of the thing they sold you? It's almost like they want to give themselves the ability to do something with that. They're not going to do it right now. You're right. They might not do it right now. They might not do it later. They might not do it at all. But maybe they will, because they gave themselves the option to. Why don't you see that as a problem?
I have the same access to all of my digital games as the Wall of Virginity people do. Like this photo right here. He has his whole fucking PS3 library. I have all of my PS3 library. The only difference is mine isn't collecting dust on a shelf.
Yeah, the difference is that his is collecting dust on a shelf, and yours completely goes away if Sony decides to delete your account, which they have the right to do based on the user agreement that you signed. All of your games can go away with the touch of a button. That wall of virginity, you can call it that if you want, unless those games break, like unless they physically break or are stolen, those games are never going away. And here we have the dilemma of not properly owning your digital games, because eventually all these physical games will break. Eventually all these physical copies will be unplayable, or the hardware they were built for will be unusable. Not tomorrow, not even soon, but it is something that will inevitably happen. So what do you do then? Well, I mean, then the only option will be to play the game digitally. But what if you don't own the game digitally? What if you only own the license to play it digitally? So physical copies are no longer available. Proper digital ownership is no longer available. Where does that leave you as the consumer? I ask you again, why don't you see this as a problem?
And the funny thing is, I'll probably have access to my digital library longer than he does his physical games once they start rotting away on his shelf.
I like how you said probably there. So even in your own argument where you're calling everyone grifters and saying it's all fear-mongering, you can't even give yourself the confidence of being completely right. You said you're probably going to have access longer than he will. Probably. Like, you're not even certain of yourself.
All these companies are also starting to make it an initiative to pull forward your digital games with backwards compatibility.
Really? All companies are making that an initiative? All companies are doing that? Fascinating. I wasn't aware of that.
I'll give a shout out to Xbox. They're the best at doing it right now.
I mean, you're probably right. Yes, out of the 3 console manufacturers, Xbox probably is the best at digital preservation and pull forward preservation. They're also a bunch of fucking dicks about new game releases and new game ownership.
Where all of your games from your older generations come with you to the next console. They realize how important that is for people. Digital games are being embraced, and these people that are acting like your digital library is just gonna fucking vanish like Thanos snap one day.
It's Thanos. Like, not to be that guy, but like, how do you... It just bugs me when people make basic mistakes. Like, he's gonna Thanos snap it. It's Thanos. Everyone knows it's Thanos. You're just pissing me off now.
It has not happened. It's been almost 20 fucking years. Even on the Xbox 360, it has been 20 years. That came out in 2005.
Jarvis, is every single Xbox 360 game playable on the Xbox Series? Jarvis, is every Xbox original game playable on the Xbox Series? Interesting.
The fear-mongering needs to stop. People need to stop acting like the digital games just go away and you don't have ownership of it. Oh my god.
You don't have ownership of it? Do you have ownership of the gaming president?
Yes, you do. They have not ever taken this away. Stop the fucking fear-mongering with this.
Gosh, it's just like, this isn't true. This isn't true. If you live in a bubble, it's probably true. Oh, none of the games I bought have been taken away. Yeah, because you probably only buy like 4 games. If you only play the most popular games ever, then yeah, those probably won't be taken away from you. But what kind of fucking industry is that?
Number 2, the MIG switch and bricking of Switch 2s. I swear to God, the amount of times I hear that Nintendo can just brick your console, oh my god.
Well, they can. It's in the user agreement that they can.
That doesn't happen.
It has happened, actually. There have been several reports of people's Switch 2s being bricked for one reason or another, or their online access being restricted for one reason or another. Nintendo gave themselves this power for a reason. They gave themselves the power to punish you and punish your hardware after you've brought it home. They wouldn't have given themselves that power if they weren't going to use it, and they absolutely have been using it. We can argue whether or not their use has been justified. That's a different topic. Personally, I don't think that use is ever justified because it's your product and you bought it and it's in your house. Nintendo is not. If you buy a car, what you do with the car is your own prerogative. You might void the warranty, sure, if you do something wrong. Like if you fix it up a certain way or you adjust it a certain way, you might void the warranty. That's understandable. But what isn't going to happen is you buy a car, you open up the hood, you change a part. My brain's going a million miles a second right now. I can't think of specific car parts. The transmission. I replaced the transmission in my car, but then Toyota comes to my house and is like, listen, you weren't supposed to use that specific transmission, so, we're taking all your wheels. You can still, you can keep the car. The car is still yours with your fancy transmission in there. You just can't have wheels anymore. Good luck, fuckface. This kind of corporate ownership of the thing you bought, this would not fly in any other industry. Why are you okay with it now?
99% of people that just use their Switch 2 the right way, you're not going to get your fucking system bricked.
I love when people just pull out fake stats like that. Like, man, you're really convincing me. You've been making great baller arguments all video, and then you just pull out some fake stats? Ooh, I'm convinced.
People that are using MIG switches that want to pretend like everyone is legally dumping their ISO files and ROMs from the games they purchased physically.
A lot of people are using MIG switch cartridges for that, yes.
And then they're getting bricked. Dude, stop lying to yourselves. 99% of people that are using MIG switches have illegally obtained their ISO files.
Oh my goodness. So 99% of people are using the Switch okay, and then 99% of MIG switch owners are using it illegally. Man, it's convenient that those stats are exactly the way you wanted them to be. If you don't have stats, don't use them. Don't act like you do. You just make yourself look like more of a fuckwit. But that being said, we can just fact check this. The only way to know how many people are using the MIG switch cartridge for just legally dumping their files and how many people are using it for piracy, the only way we can discern the ratio of pirate to legitimate is to look at people's feedback, to look at places like Reddit, to look at forums for people's personal experience with the MIG switch cartridge. And if you actually do that, what you will find is a lot of people use the MIG switch cartridge perfectly legitimately. A lot of people are doing that. Partially because, see previous point about how in the world of digital games and lack of true physical ownership, the MIG switch cartridge is a great way to bridge that gap. Not that you would care about that, but I find it so funny that you confidently bring out these statistics. You confidently say that all these people are using the MIG switch 2, they're just using it for piracy, they're using it for illegal downloads. When the only way that you could possibly get that conclusion is by just going on forums and seeing personal accounts of using the thing. And if you do that, you would see you're wrong, but also in your own evidence, you keep doing this. Even if you are right that 99% of MIG switch cartridge users are using it for piracy and only 1% of them are using it legitimately, that still means legitimate customers are being punished. That is a problem. How do you keep doing this? How do you keep presenting evidence of your own argument and then proving your opposition wrong? If 1% of people using the MIG switch cartridge are using it legitimately and that bricks their Switch, that's still a problem.
They're not dumping their own physical copies of games you own. But again, no one wants to look in the mirror and blame themselves for the current situation they're in.
Yeah, guys, the fact that Nintendo are a bunch of dicks is your fault. Fuck you.
If you didn't illegally download games from the start, you wouldn't be in this situation where these safeguards would have to be in place.
Okay, so there's safeguards. There's safeguards against illegal downloads. Okay, then why are legitimate customers being punished?
Just like with the stores. When someone starts mass robbing the stores, everyone kind of gets punished because shit gets locked behind the glass walls and it makes it inconvenient for everyone else.
Yeah, that's a false equivalency. Because a legitimate shopper is never going to be punished because once you put up the glass wall, a legitimate shopper who's never shoplifted anything is not going to be arrested for shoplifting. The glass walls are there to prevent shoplifters, and they punish only shoplifters. Nintendo current arrangement punishes legitimate customers along with pirates, and also it doesn't even stop piracy, so what's the point?
But in this case, most people don't use MIG switches, so it doesn't affect like 90% of people who own Switch 2s.
I thought it was 99%.
And if you are someone who uses a MIG switch and legally backs up their game files on it and you're getting screwed over, you should be pissed off at the people who are doing it the wrong way.
No, I should be pissed off at Nintendo because I'm a legitimate customer being punished for the actions of someone else.
You should be pissed at the people that constantly spam the "it's always morally right to steal Nintendo games."
I mean, at this point it kind of is.
No, it's not. Like, if you want to download GameCube games and stuff, whatever. They're not actively selling those.
Oh. So, you are... So, GameCube, I want to play... You were just making a big argument. Again, you keep doing this. It's amazing. Earlier in the video, you were talking about how these games are never being taken away from you. I still have access to all these older games. And now you're like, well, if you want to play GameCube games, they're not selling those, so you got to illegally download those. Oh, interesting. That turned around fast. And this is all happening at the same time as Nintendo's starting to take like unprecedented amounts of legal action against the people preserving the digital copies of games they don't sell anymore. The point is right in front of you, and you are stupid.
But for the people that constantly champion theft and stealing brand new games, it's a fucking embarrassment. And
I mean, it's only embarrassing if you let it be. This is a little nitpick, but like, I hate when people are like, man, it's embarrassing that someone else is doing this thing. It's like, why are you embarrassed? Don't associate with them. You've said a million times that you don't like pirates, so you don't associate with pirates. Why are you embarrassed? Like, they don't represent you, right? So why do you give a shit?
If you're someone who actually, legally backs up your ISO files to your MIG switch, you can make it easier on yourself. Maybe just have one cartridge instead of like fucking 5 of them.
Yeah, that's a perfectly legitimate use for the MIG switch cartridge.
You should be upset at the people doing it illegally and running around championing it like, oh, it's right to do it, acting like they're fucking Robin Hood or something.
I feel like you're equating two very different things right now.
It's so fucking cringe, and you're taking an issue that 99% of Switch 2 owners,
I thought it was 90%.
will never run into, and trying to make it like it's a fucking mass market problem for people.
The existence of a MIG switch cartridge is not the big problem. The fact that Nintendo has the power to fuck your mouth hole for any reason they want, that's the problem. Like, you need to look at the big picture.
Stop stealing games. Actually go out and purchase the games if you want them. If you don't, then just simply don't buy it.
Okay, I went out and I legitimately purchased a game, and then I put it on my MIG switch cartridge, and then my Switch got bricked for the MIG switch cartridge, even though I legitimately purchased the game. What's your counter? Go. Why am I being punished? Go. Like, you can't counter that. That's the problem.
But stealing, it's not the answer. So number 3, $80 video games.
I cannot wait to hear you justify this one. I cannot wait to hear you justify this one. Everyone, like, you're saying these are the big 3 points that the grifters always make. $80 games, I cannot wait for this. Explain to me how digital games need to be $80 right now.
I swear to God, there is not a debate that is more tiresome at this point than people still bitching about $80 games.
And you aren't even gonna try. You're just doing the thing where you repeat the argument back in a shitty tone of voice and act like that's a counterpoint. Great, I love this.
If you don't like the price of the game and don't think it's worth it, just don't fucking buy it, dude. It's really not that hard. You don't have to sit there and throw a temper tantrum about it. You're not changing the fucking world.
How is that? Dude, I'm so confused. I'm so confused. If you don't like it, don't buy it. But then when people tell you not to buy it by saying $80 games are bullshit, you put them in the list with the hate grifters. You're literally repeating back what the grifters are saying, but you don't see yourself as grifting. Maybe because it's not a grift to criticize this. Oh my Lord. And people come and they make the same tired points, like about how $80 games are bullshit. Well, if you don't like it, don't buy it. Yeah, that's what they're saying. They're telling you not to buy it. Oh my god.
It's just fucking video games, man. Like for me, Mario Kart World was worth $80, so I bought it.
I can't wait for you to give other financial decision-making advice.
The Outer Worlds 2 does not look like it's worth $80 for me, so I'm just not going to buy it.
Yeah, I'm gonna need that one explained. Like, I don't think either of these games are worth $80. I don't think games should be $80 at all. But you're gonna have to explain why Mario Kart World is worth $80 and Outer Worlds 2 is not. Like, I'm gonna need that one laid out a little bit. Because one of these games clearly has more effort put into it than the other one.
I'm not going to throw a temper tantrum about it. I'm not going to cry, bitch, and moan. I'm just going to not play it. It's really that simple. Also, the Nintendo games aren't even all $80 like people are acting like they are.
Some of them are. Again, this is like the physical thing, the physical and digital thing. Just because not literally all of them are one way, that doesn't mean that none of them are. And the president has been set. Mr. Kennedy, the president.
The Donkey Kong Bonanza game seems like an extremely ambitious game.
That's why everyone immediately stopped talking about it after it came out, right?
Made by the 3D Mario team. It looks incredible, fully voice acted. It seems like
voice acting in a game, groundbreaking.
One of the better Nintendo games coming out. That is still $70.
It's one of the better Nintendo games coming out. You know, all these Nintendo games coming out. There's just so many of them.
So to act like Nintendo has just raised the price of every single fucking game to $80.
Well, I mean, you brought up the Outer Worlds being $80. Nintendo broke the glass on $80 games. And Microsoft is raising games to $80. And other publishers are certainly going to raise games to $80. So, yes, Nintendo did raise the price of maybe not every game, but basically every big AAA release. And I'd say within the next 12 months, $80 is going to be the standard price for AAA games, thanks to Nintendo.
It's just bullshit. Just don't buy the game if you don't want it for $80. Just wait for a fucking sale. The real thing is there's still morons out there that are sitting there saying games aren't even worth $50 or $40.
I mean, in a lot of cases they're not. So, like worth, like monetary worth on something like a video game is kind of, it's going to be subjective to a degree. But not everything about them is subjective. And if a lot of people are saying that it's not worth this price point, maybe it shouldn't be this price point.
They just want shit for free.
No, they're literally telling you that they would pay for the thing if it wasn't more. They don't want it for free. They just don't want to pay as much as they're asking for. You are fucking stupid. I cannot stand you. Like, I'm at the point now, I've been recording for how long? I've been recording for 35 minutes straight now. I don't know how long the video is, but the raw recording right now is 35 minutes. Dude, I can't stand you. I can't stand you. George can't stand you.
Dude, get off of it. There are games coming out right now that are well worth $50.
Yeah, nobody said there weren't. You are once again arguing other people's points.
Stop acting like games are all trash now.
Games are... What is this? What is this? There's people saying that games aren't even worth $50. Oh yeah, well, some games are worth $50. You're just a grifter. Boom, get grifted. Like, what is wrong with you?
That's not the case. Stop acting like you're changing the world. Stop going on this fucking moral crusade you have over video games. Put this energy towards something that actually matters in your life, and maybe you won't have to worry about video games so much. You can go back to treating it like a hobby that it is and not your entire life and personality.
Look, we've crossed the 8-minute point of his video. There's another minute and a half. I just can't do it anymore, and I'm not convinced you're going to say anything worthwhile. So I'm gonna call it here because you're driving me insane. I cannot do this. If you like the Switch 2, that's fine. If you don't like the Switch 2, that's fine. But if people out there don't like something that you do like, a really piss poor way of making people come to your side is by lumping all of the critics in with grifters. Grifters who, by the way, this entire video, you never once defined what a grifter was. You never once gave an example of a grifter. You never once even gave a grifter point. You just took legitimate criticism and called it grifting. Like, are you kidding me? This is just so weak. Anyway, I'm gonna do the Doofus Club now, and I'm gonna get this edited because my goodness, I wasn't gonna do this video today. I was gonna record something else today, But then I stumbled upon this video. Someone sent me this video a while back, and I rediscovered the link. I have a little notepad on my phone of links that people send me, and then like every once in a while I'll go through them and be like, see which one sparks hatred today. Because sometimes I'll watch something and it won't spark hatred, but I'll keep it in the notepad and I'll come back to it like a week later. Now it does spark hatred. Now I have the motivation to make the video on it. I think this was the case for this one because the video is like 2 weeks old, and I was gonna make a video. I don't know why I'm explaining this to you. I really appreciate when you guys send me things. It makes my life easier, but like also fucking hell, I'm just angrier now than I was before because this completely destroyed my schedule for the day. I was gonna knock out a commentary in like 15, 20 minutes. Boom. And now here I am fucking 40 minutes later on this thing. Okay, well, let's just do the Doofus Club. Klepto Penguin to JoJo 6, Axel, Liam, Moltheme, The Beesims, Evan Co, Really Zero, Gaming with Dead People, Oracle, The Return of the King, but is upside down, Biscuit 1101, Raffle, Coaster, Adam Raz 26, Max Killer, B2 Gaming, but Kyle Ward 789, Nate, Blast 1314, Jimmy Chops, Mario may be a cuck, but Harmon can't get a girl, Michael Museo, Master Killer, Firestorm 2056, Demetrius Papagiorno, Tom Snorlax, and put your fingers in between my toes and squeeze real hard, Unknown 186718, Kev Dog 992, Aguna Joe from Seattle, Official Dreg, Smash Star, Jamie Heinemann's mustache tickles at my balls. Okay, Bear Brain, Hepyon 504, Grimsy Edge Knight 1789. My dad left to catch some Pokemon, I'm sure of it. Kushko, Unicorn, Raku, Benefondu, the motor's fine, stop being a doofus. Look, listen, appearing offline does not fucking stop it. T-Train, Reisinger, Sensenakage, and Onvola, forgot to change my name, Partial Main 8, Volksalto, Codman 4372WX. I need a stupid name for Joe to read out loud for everyone to see. Celarot, Gold Pyrak, All the Rotho 1. I tear my ass cheeks open every time you upload. I can't read this. Add some capitals in here. Fuck. Doug Nigsy Smile. Snake Guy 327, Devastator 2000, Joe, why would you leave us? We miss you, sexy man. MK2396E, I'm still in the mojo, please get help. Hentai X Machina Gamma, Elite Wolf, Firewolf, Firewolf, Fire Hazard 105, XGWXSS. Oh my god, Ras the Wolf, Oven Kids, okay, Toodles, Tech Gaming, Jungle Zone, Slim Jim, All Games Video, Why You Little, Joe from Anthracon, Chris Void, Pope Raphael the Rat King, Jessica Shepherd, Ricky Spiral, Ricky Tabby, Muskie, Autonomic Dog, 49, Ruben the Seal Angel, Doug, Dimmadome, Doofus of the Dimmadome Doofus Club, Sergeant Jason Bond, Baron Von Vaderholm, Cyrus 6771, Don't Call Me the Doofus, It Hurts My Feelings, 2Text940, You Haven't Helped Him Out of the Boat, and You're laughing, Joe, ha, the first Doofus, Creed Warrior 23, Max the Chev, the Chap is back, hooray, welcome back, Chap, Totally Insane, Black Cobra, the Enwa Slayer, Knight of Cyber, ML04, I own 6 copies, it clicked 2006 on Blu-ray. Why haven't you helped him out of the moat, Joe? Ha ha ha! Wolf of Midnight, Stig Rider, Pig Venus, Steve Win Studios, Film Kraken, Ohm Gaming, Tariq Brown, Thornskate, Maganek, Severin Evans, Bishop Spawning on 3s, The Catalina Freaking Wine Mixer, Pow Pow, Why Trouble, Donnie Weston, Nick Noggan, Draws Max on Twitch, Come Hang Y'all, Gob Gonson, Rogue Winter 919, Bobby Hinner, Candy Kitten Fanny, Hangman for Hire, Elna Noble, Frost Crystal, oh my god, Frost Crystal, Jimmy. Where'd I get Jimmy from? Biogenesis, Ian Action, Floppy Pinkers 97, Mega Key, Scruffy Skull, Ghost Ho, Ryusagi, Vascro, Raptor, Tim, The Amazing Blight Man, Blue Hook, Phil Matib, I'm Joe from Seattle's Real Father, Jody Breeze, Smitty, Worker, Yeagerman Jensen, The Chills are named Max, Lore, McAdvertisement, Diego Garcia, JJ Jesse, and my Kibbikins, I'm American Idiot, Harmon Smith, Other Chin, oh no, it's Justin, Rand Rui, Tweeney Wayne, Mechanical Resonance, Extreme Wolf 7, Joey Scoops, Negative Creep, Joe Taku, Poop P, Bang, Cat, Chicken Sucker, Mom, Banger 2008, Wannabe Hobo, Jidge, West Bill 310 Char, Rob C, Veg, Groove Banana, Kurt Nallens back, What Happened to Game Night, Joe. Fucking listen, I'm gonna get it figured out. I wanted to do game nights and I was so stoked about doing game nights, and then I had to be out of town for like a week and a half. Then I came back and I had to get like back on track with everything that I was gone for, and then I had to leave again, and I'm just like I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. Joe, I ate battery acid and my mouth didn't recharge. Help. That's funny. That's funny. Okay? That's funny. It's hysterical. Now I just feel guilty about game nights. I'm so sorry. Okay, toodles.